Hello students, so good morning all of you. Um, in this video let us discuss the remaining structure isomerism. So let us start with the positional isomer. Okay, positional isomer. Positional isomers. Okay, positional isomers. So here, what are these positional isomers? Okay, what are these positional isomers? Here, for positional isomers, same length of parent chain must be there. Same length of parent chain. Okay, but differ in position of substituent or double bond or triple bond or functional group. Okay, the change in position of the functional group, double bond, triple bond or substituent when same length of the parent chain. If length of the parent chain different, those are considered as a chain isomers. Okay, if length of PC is different, okay, if length of PC is different, then they are chain isomers. Then they are chain isomers. Okay, and functional group must be also same. The functional group is changed, those are considered as a functional group isomers. Okay, so here condition is same functional group and same length of the parent chain. If length of the parent chain differ, those are considered as chain isomers. If length of if functional group is different, those are considered as a functional group isomers. Okay, so we can write that word also. If functional group is different, they are functional group isomers. Okay, so finally the condition for the positional isomers, same length of the parent chain. Okay, same length of the parent chain and same functional group also. So here what are the examples? For suppose in alkanes, okay, alkanes, minimum number of carbons, okay, minimum number of carbons required to exhibit positional isomerism, or 6. Here in this case CH3 CH2. Okay, see this one. Here 1 2 3 4 5 5 carbons. Here one substituent. Here one substituent. Here in this case 2 methyl, this is 3 methyl. 2 methyl pentane, 3 methyl pentane. So these two are the positional isomers. Okay, in alkanes. Okay. Next, for alkenes, minimum number of carbons required are the 4 because C double bond CH, CH2, CH. This is one butene. Okay. For suppose CH3, CH double bond CH, bond CH3. This is 2 butene. Okay, 1 butene and this is 2 butene. Okay, 1 butene and 2 butene. Here the position is different with respect to double bond. So minimum number of carbons 4 in alkenes. For suppose in alkynes, minimum number of carbons required are the 4. Okay, but in case of the chain isomers, minimum number of carbons required 5 for alkynes to exhibit chain isomers. Okay, so in this case again C triple bond C H2 CH3 and CH3 C triple bond C. This is 1 butane, this is a 2 butane. Here with respect to double bond position, triple bond position is different. So these are the positional isomers. Okay. For suppose 1 chloropropane, 2 chloropropane, these are also positional isomers. Okay. For suppose 2-chloro, this one is the 2-chloropropane, this one. Here in this case 1-chloro-2-methyl propane. Here 2-chlorobutane, this is the 1-chloro-2-methyl propane, here 2-chlorobutane. These are the chain isomers. These are the chain isomers because length of the chain, parent chain is different. Length of the parent chain is different. Of course, here position of the chlorine is different. It is a 2-chlorobutane. This is 2-chlorobutane here. 1-chloro 2-methyl propane. Position of the chlorine different, but length of the parent chain is different. So if length of the parent chain different, those are considered as chain isomers, but not the positional isomers. Even the position of the chlorine is different. Okay, that's it. For suppose 1-butanol, this is 2-butanol. These are again positional isomers. The position of the that OH is different. Here 2-pentanone, this is 3-pentanone. 2-pentanone, 3-pentanone. Position of the ketone functional group is different. That's why they are the positional isomers. Okay, positional isomers. Okay, next you see this one, COOH. Here COOH. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbons. Okay, na? Yes, 6 carbons in this case. Okay. So here, what is the relation between these two? Here in this case, what is the position of COOH? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the position of COOH? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means here, it is a 2-ethyl butanoic acid. It is a hexanoic acid. Hexanoic acid, it is a 2-ethyl butanoic acid. Okay, na? Here position of this COOH is same. That means here this is a COOH group, it is a terminal functional group. That is a terminal functional group. So with respect to terminal functional group, we cannot say the positional isomer. We cannot say the positional isomer. Okay. Or suppose here these two are chain isomers. These two are the chain isomers because their length of the parent chain different. But COOH position is always 1. Terminal functional group. That means aldehyde, carboxylic acid, ester, acid halide, amide, cyanide. With respect to all these terminal functional groups, we cannot say the positional isomer. Okay, that's it. Because always position 1. For suppose, you see this one. Here COOH, this is ethyl. This is COOH. Okay, the COOH. Yes, I am writing like this here. Okay, so here in this case ethyl. Yeah, what is the name of this compound? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2-ethyl pentanoic acid. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3-ethyl pentanoic acid. Your length of the parent chain same. Your length of the parent chain different. So chain isomers. Your length of the parent chain same, but your 2-ethyl it is a 3-ethyl. So these are the positional isomers. They are the positional isomers with respect to substituent, but not with respect to terminal functional group. Okay, so these are positional isomers. Okay, that's it. So write down. Yeah. Let us discuss the positional isomers of these compounds. Okay. The first here, the positional isomers of the dichlorobenzene. Positional isomers of the dichlorobenzene. That is C6H4Cl2. So here the bond here pi bond Cl and Cl. 1,2 dichlorobenzene and next 1,3 dichlorobenzene and finally 1,4 dichlorobenzene. That is the ortho dichlorobenzene. Okay, This is orthodichlorobenzene, meta-dichlorobenzene, para-dichlorobenzene. Okay, this is para-dichlorobenzene, para-dichlorobenzene. Okay, ortho, meta. Here in this case, trichlorobenzene. Trichlorobenzene means 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 4 and 1, 3, 5. Okay, na? Here 1, 3, 5 is a symmetrical trichlorobenzene. It is also called as symmetrical trichlorobenzene. Symmetrical means here 1, 3, 5. Alternative positions kada. So that's why it is called as a symmetrical trichlorobenzene or simply 1,3,5 trimethyl benzene. Okay. Now next dimethyl benzene. C6H10. Its formula is C6H10. This is CH3. This one is a orthoxylene. And next CH3 and CH3. This is metaxylene. And finally CH3. This is paraxylene. If two CH3 groups are present, those are called as a xylene. Okay, orthoxylene, metaxylene, and paraxylene. Next, bromodichlorobenzene. Bromodichlorobenzene. That means here C6H3 bromine Cl2. Okay, you write the positional isomers for this compound. Okay, so more than 4 isomers you will get. And this one bromochloroiodobenzene C6H3 bromine iodine chlorine. Three are the different. Okay, position changes. Position, we should change the position. For suppose 1 bromo, 2 iodo, 3 chloro. And again 1 bromo, 2 chloro, 3 iodo. Okay, like this here, different isomers are exist. Okay, so you finish these two problems. Okay, this one nearly 6, this one nearly 10 or 12 you will get. Okay, try this one, positional isomers. That's it. Write the isomers of C8H10 with benzene ring, or aromatic isomers of C8H10. Write the benzene derivatives of C8H. Question like this, whatever it is. So here C8H10 with benzene derivatives. So it is a benzene. Remaining 2 carbons CH3, CH3, ethyl benzene. Now here this ethyl group can be written as CH3, CH3. That means here orthoxylene, metaxylene, paraxylenes. Okay. How many isomers totally? 4. These are the 3 isomers. This one is the 1 isomer. 4. Now here, what is the relation between these two? Ethyl benzene and orthoxylene. The length of the side chain is 2. The length of the side chain is 1. This 2 carbon side chain is split into one carbon substituent. So here these are the chain isomers. They are the chain isomers. And ortho meta paraxylene are the positional isomers. Okay, that's it. Here I am giving hint for this one. Here I am giving hint. You have bromine, chlorine, iodine. Here bromine, iodine, chlorine. Here position, the locations are the 1, 2, 3. But for 1, 2, 3 locations, here two different structures possible. Two different structures are possible. Okay, na? That's it. And next, one more compound is also possible. That is 1, 2, 3 key. Chlorine, iodine, and bromine. Okay, all are the 1, 2, 3. All are the 1, 2, 3. But here 1, 2, 3 locations, with 1, 2, 3 locations, a 3 isomers we are getting. Okay, similarly write the all isomers. That's it. Okay, so write down this one. Next, one more interesting question. It is a previous NSCC question, National Standard Examination in Chemistry. Okay, dibromo derivatives of the diphenyl. So you know that diphenyl. Okay, without this bromine is the diphenyl. So now here, let us. You should write the dibromo derivatives of the diphenyl. Okay. So initially, without this bromine, these two are this is the diphenyl. Okay, all positions are same. So first of all, let us write the monobromo derivatives. This is the 1,2 position. Okay, this is 1,3 position. This is 1,4 position. So these are the three possible monobromo biphenyls. Okay. Now let us start writing the dibromo derivatives of the biphenyl. So in this case, this is the one isomer. Okay. Here 1, 2. Let us say 1. Here in this case 1, 3. Here in this case 1, 4. Here in this case 1, 5. But different. Their position is different. Okay. So here in this case, these are the 4 isomers. Next, for this one, here bromine. Okay, different. This isomer is different. Here, we should not write this bromine again at this place because these two are equal. So that's why I am writing this bromine at this one. Next one. Here bromine and this is also. Okay, this is one isomer different from the remaining one. And next one. Okay, keep the position of this one and here this is bromine. Now here this isomer is equal to this isomer. Okay, in this case 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Here in this case 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 1, 2, 4. Let us consider all these are the substituents. Okay, 1, 2, 4. Same. So here it's not. It should not be calculated. Okay, it should not be calculated. 2 isomers and next one. Okay, let us write for this one. This is the bromine. Now bromine. Okay, so here these two are equal. Again these two are equal. Now here write this bromine at this place. Okay, again here these are equal. Okay, these two isomers are equal. The bromine position is same. So here in this case, so fix this bromine. Now go to another phenyl ring. This one is the one isomer. Is it different from others? Here in this case, only one phenyl ring contains 2 bromine atoms. Here coming to the this isomer. In this case here 2 bromines are different on the 2 benzene ring. Okay, this one. Now here bromine fix that position. So Br. Next, this Br and Br. Okay, that is the one isomer. And next, let us write for this one again. This is the bromine and this is the bromine. Okay, that is the one isomer is different from the others. Next, this is the bromine and this is bromine. Okay, this one also different from the other isomers. And next one. Okay, fix the position of this bromine and this bromine. Okay, here in this case, these two are equal. Okay, these two are equal. So it is not considered as an isomer. Okay, equal. So next, the remaining chances are okay. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 isomers. Okay, And next, one more isomer. You see this one. This is the second position, and this one also second position. Okay. Here we cannot see that isomer in remaining these structures. Okay. Yeah. So that is also one of the isomers. So totally 12 dibromo diphenyl compounds are exist. Okay. 12 dibromo diphenyl compounds are exist. Okay. Possible isomers of the dibromo diphenyl compounds. Okay, write down. Just we have to check the positions. So actually in this case, what is the numbering of this one? Let us consider like this. It is a biphenyl compound. No? Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash, 6 dash. Okay. So based on that, we can give the naming for this one. Okay. That's it. Totally 12 isomers. Okay. These two are the ortho positions. 2, 2 dash. This one 3, 3 dash. This one 4, 4 dash. This one 3, 4 dash. This one 2, 4 dash. Okay, here in this case 3, 4. Okay, here in this case 3, 5. Here in this case 2, 2 dash. Here in this case 2 and 3 dash. That is. Okay, here in this case 2, 5. Here in this case 2, 6. Here in this case 2, 5. Here 2, 3. So totally different here. So 12 diphenyl dibromo derivatives are exist. Okay, next. Possible isomers of the dibromonaphthalene. Dibromonaphthalene. So actually here in this case, this is the naphthalene. Okay. Here 1 chloronaphthalene. 1 chloronaphthalene. Now this is 2 chloronaphthalene. That means here monochloronaphthalenes are the two. Monochloronaphthalenes are two isomers. Okay. Monochloronaphthalenes. 1, 2. But suppose it is not 3 chloronaphthalene. It is not a 3 chloronaphthalene. Why? Because again it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. That's it. Its numbering is different. Okay, so here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. For suppose this one is a 1 chloronaphthalene. Why? Because here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again we have to start the numbering from the substituent. Okay. For suppose this is also 2 chloronaphthalene. This one 2 chloronaphthalene. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 chloronaphthalene. Okay. So here monochloronaphthaleene derivatives are the two. Monochlorobenzene is 1. Monochlorobenzene is only 1. But monochloronaphthaleene are the two. Okay. Monochloronaphthaleene derivatives are the two. Okay. That's it. Now here dichloro derivatives. Okay. Dichloro derivatives of naphthalene. You see this one. Here 1, 2. 1, 2 dichloro. Next 1, 3 dichloro. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 3. 1 comma 4 1 4 dichloro Cl Cl here 1 comma 5 1 2 3 4 5 or 1 2 3 4 5 1 5. Okay, this Cl and this is Cl 1 2 3 4 5 6, that is 1 6. Okay, next one 1 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, and finally here this is 1 8. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Here we should not number, you should not give the numbering like this 1 3, that means 1 2, here 1 2 3, through the ring we have to proceed the numbering. Okay, that is the 1 8. And next remaining isomers are also possible. Those are here in this case 2 3. The numbering is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Numbering is same. So it's a 2 3 dichloro. It's a 2 3 dichloro naphthalene. Next this one here, this is 1 3. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That means here it is a 1 3. So it equals to this one 1 3 isomer. Okay, that's it. So it's not isomer 1 3. Next one, for suppose this one. Here in this case 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That means here 1 6. 1 6, 1 6 already have written. Okay, so again this is also not isomer. For suppose Cl and Cl. Here in this case, if you start numbering from this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means here 2, 6 is a different. It is a different 2, 6. You can next here Cl and this is the Cl. If you start the numbering from this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means here 2, 7. Okay, 2, 7. And similarly Cl and Cl. It's not a 2 8 because here this carbon has a substituent, so numbering you can give from this carbon 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That means here 1 7 is already written. So number of possible isomers. Number of possible isomers 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 10 dichloro-naphthalene derivatives are exist. Okay, 10 dichloro-naphthalene derivatives are exist. Next one. Here monochloro-anthracene. Okay, monochloro-anthracene. Monochloro-anthracene means here this is the anthracene. This is the anthracene. Its numbering is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Different. Its numbering again different. Here in this case, we can see 3 different monochloro derivatives. Here I am saying monochloro. It's a 1 chloro and next one 2 chloro. Okay, 1 chloro, 2 chloro and finally 9 chloro. Okay, that is a 9 chloro. 3 monochloro derivatives. And write the dichloro derivatives of the anthracene. Okay, you will get the so many isomers. Okay, you will get the so many isomers. So monochloro and anthracenes are the 3. Okay, now that's it. So that is about the positional isomerism. Okay, thank you. So write down this one. Okay. Next type of structural isomerism, that is functional group isomerism. Okay. If different functional group, then functional group isomers. Okay. Irrespective of the other conditions, whatever it is, if different functional group, different that means functional group isomers. Okay. That means molecular formula must be same. So next, yeah, see this different functional group, then consider as a functional group isomers. First of all, alcohols and ethers. Alcohols and ethers are considered as a functional group isomers. Okay, na? For suppose C2H5OH ethyl alcohol and CH3OCS dimethyl ether. These two are the functional group isomers. Okay. For suppose this one cyclopentanol, or for suppose this one. Okay. The cyclic ether is a cyclic alcohol. Those two are the functional group isomers. Next B. Thiols and thioethers C2H5 SH and CH3SCH. That's it. Functional group isomers. Here thiol is a functional group. Here ether is a functional group. Next, third one. Primary, secondary, tertiary amines of same molecular formula are considered as functional group isomers. Very, very important point this one. Okay, all are the amines, but primary, secondary, tertiary. These are considered as a functional group isomers. For suppose CH3, 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 NH2, CH3, CH, NH, CH3. Okay. Next CH3, N, CH3 and CH3. It is a primary amine, it is a secondary amine, it is a tertiary amine. Okay, N is the ethyl methyl amine, your propyl amine, trimethyl amine. Okay, that's it. Okay, here NH is the function group, here NH is the function group, here N is the function group. Different properties. We will discuss in further classes. Okay, these have the different properties. Okay, primary, secondary, tertiary amines of the same molecular formula are considered as a functional group isomers. And next one, so very, very important point, alcohols and phenols. Alcohols and phenols are considered as a functional group isomers. Here OH, or suppose there is a methyl group here. Here this one, CH2OH, this is a benzyl alcohol. This is benzyl alcohol. This is ardoglycerol. Here there is a OH, here there is a OH. But their attachment is different. In this case, OH is directly attached to the benzene. In this case, OH is not directly attached to the benzene. Here, the properties are completely different. Okay, that's why they are considered as a functional group isomers. Okay, that's it. Important point, phenols and alcohols are considered as a functional group isomers. This is the alcohol, that's why named as a benzyl alcohol. It's not an alcohol, it's a phenolic compound. It is a phenolic compound. Okay, so here we can write the one question. Write the isomers, that means benzene derivatives. Okay, benzene derivatives of compound with molecular formula C7H8O. Benzene derivatives means here like this CH2OH. Its formula is CH2OH. Okay, C7H8O benzene derivative antado lekapothe otherwise aromatic isomers. So benzyl alcohol is the one of the structure for that compound having Markov formula. Now from this one we can write like this CH3. Here alcohol is there. Now we can write the ether also. This is anisole. This is anisole. Now let us write orthoglycerol, metaglycerol. Next one paraglycerol. So here how many isomers? 5 isomers are exist. Okay, that's it. If alcohol is the one of the isomer, then immediately we can write the ether. Okay, that's it. There is the anisole, methoxybenzene. It is a methoxybenzene. Methoxybenzene. Okay, that's it. Next one. Okay, fifth one. Dienes and alkynes are considered the functional group isomers. CH double bond C H3 and CH2 double bond C double bond CH. These are also considered as a functional group isomers. Dienes and alkynes are considered as a functional group isomers. Very, very important point this one. Okay. This is alkyne. Triple bond is the function. Okay. Here double bond. That's it. The properties depends on the double bond. Here properties depends on the triple bond. So next cyanides and isocyanates. That is a CH3CN, CH3NC. Methyl cyanide, here methyl isocyanide. Same alkyl formula but different function. Okay. Next one. Aldehydes, ketones, aldehydes, ketones, and with this one unsaturated alcohol. If alcohol exists, we can write the unsaturated ether also. We can write the unsaturated ether also. Okay, that means here let us write like this. Unsaturated alcohol. Next cyclic ether or cyclic alcohol. That's it. For suppose CH3 CH2 C double bond OH. Here I am writing in the form of ketone. This is aldehyde, this is the ketone. Okay, that's it. Next unsaturated alcohol. That means here CH2 double bond CH bond CH2OH. Same alcohol formula. Okay. Now here we can write the position of the we can change the position of the double bond CH OH. Here position of the double bond is different. Okay, they are the position isomers. And next one, unsaturated alcohol and unsaturated ether also double bond CH bond OCH3 will also exist, or that's it. Yes, that is the one isomer. And cyclic alcohol, 3 carbons. This is the one isomer, and cyclic ether, one isomer. Like this here, we can have the so many isomers, aldehydes and ketones. Okay, so write down this. Okay, so for this one here, we can write like this also. 3-membered ring, that means cyclic ether with 3-membered ring. Here cyclic ether with 4-membered carbons and heteroatom oxide. Okay, write down. Okay, so next for suppose carboxylic acids and Here, eighth one, carboxylic acids and esters. Okay, carboxylic acids and esters. You see this one, CH3 C double bond OH, and here HC double bond OCl. One is the acid, one is the ester, carboxylic acid and ester. Now here we can write like this also, OH CH2 C double bond OH. This is also functional group isomer. The carboxylic acid is the functional group. Here aldehyde is the functional group, and additionally OH is also functional group. Different functional group from one compound to other compound. Same molecular formula. So functional group isomers. Okay, that's it. This is also functional group isomer. Okay. Here question is, write the benzene derivatives. Write the benzene derivatives of C7H6O2. Yes. C6H, sorry. C7H7, not H7, H6. Okay. O2. Okay. Write the benzene derivatives of C7H6O2. Okay. That's it. Write the whatever the work I am giving here. You should write on a paper or on in a class notes and send to my number, WhatsApp number. Okay, that's it. Next, carboxylic acids and esters. Okay, and next, ninth one, nitro and nitrito compounds. That means yes, CH3 N double bond O, this, and CH3 O N double bond O. Okay, these two are the different functional groups. This is the nitromethane. This is nitromethane. This is nitritomethane. Okay, they are the functional group isomers. Okay, so write down this one. And next, one more point, that is, let us finish this one. Okay, stop the video and write the notes. And simple one, ring chain isomerism. Okay, ring chain isomerism. The name itself indicates one isomer is the ring, one isomer is the open chain. That means here CH2 double bond CH bond CH3, and it can be written like this also. What is the molecular formula for this one? C3H6. What is the molecular formula for this one? C3H6. The way of representation is different. Then these are the ring chain isomers. Okay, that's it. A CH2 CH3 C triple bond CH, and this one, way of representation is different. Here the ring chain isomers are also considered the functional group isomers. Here triple bond, double bond. Here double bond, only single bond. For suppose this is the alcohol, unsaturated alcohol. Now this one, same alcohol formula, you can check. Unsaturated alcohol, it is cyclic ether. Alcohol, ether. Same alcohol formula, but way of representation is different. Okay, same alcohol formula, but way of representation is different. So then these are the ring chain isomers. Okay, then these are the ring chain isomers. Now here, note, ring chain isomers are also functional group isomers. But all functional group isomers are not ring chain isomers. The ring chain isomers are the functional group isomers. Why? Because here what is the functional group? Alcohol. Here what is the functional group? Ether. So ring chain isomers are also functional group isomers. Okay. So make a note of it. Next. some more compounds. The CH2 double bond, C double bond, CH. This is alene. This is alene. It is also ring chain isomers. Okay, one is the acyclic one and other one is the ring compound. Okay. Or suppose double bond O. Okay. This is a ketone. Acetone. That acetone can be written like this also. Same Markov formula. CH2, CH2, CH2. 6 hydrogen, 3 carbons. 3 carbons, 6 hydrogens. So these are also ring chain isomers. And as well as functional group isomers also. Because what is the functional group here? Ketone. Your functional group is the ether. Cyclic ether. Okay. That's it. So that way of representation is different. One is the ring, another one is the acyclic, open chain compound. The name itself indicates ring chain isomer. Okay. So remaining one is the metamerism. We will discuss in next class. Okay. Thank you.